Mind Tech Podcast, episode 26 for September 19th, 2013. GT Ain't Interested. My Tech Podcast, episode 26. I'm Gareth in Los Angeles, and I'm joined once again by Joe in London. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Gareth. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. I got to ask you, dude, this has been playing on my mind for since last week. Nexus 7. Did you get it? Finally!
Yeah, no, I didn't. Someone's stolen it. It's the bottom line.
Dude, that is so, soul-crushing. I can't believe it.
It's only money. It's first world problems, man.
Yeah, first world problem, I guess. But still, you bought
it is annoying and everything.
It's very annoying.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, I bought a Nexus 7 from my friend in California, and he sent it to me about a month ago, and it never arrived.
A month?
Something like that, yeah.
But you did buy another one, though, right?
Yeah, I bought another one in the meantime.
And you're digging that one, right? You like it?
Yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, I like it more and more all the time. It's it's a much more practical size, the 7-inch.
Yeah, that's what everyone says with the iPad.
That's what all the ladies say.
With the iPad Mini too, everyone's like, it's so easy to use, and you can hold it in one hand, and.
Yeah, so it's kind of much easier to browse the web and look at Twitter and stuff in bed with it, rather than a big, cumbersome 10-inch Motorola Zoom. To have just the little... it can even sort of sit on the side of my bed, and it's just much more like a big phone, really. I mean, it's not that far removed from, like, the giant phablet phones, really.
Do you know anyone who has a phone like that?
My brother has a Note 2.
Okay.
Which isn't as big as the Note 3, yeah. But he's seriously thinking about that, and he would have got the Mega 6.3 if it had more modern hardware, but he would be sort of trading down from a Note 2 to the Mega.
See, that's too... I mean, the Note 2 and the Note 3, I think that's kind of like the maximum. Anything bigger than that is just retarded.
Well, it depends. If you drive around a lot, and if you've got big pockets or whatever.
But as a phone, dude, do you know how much of a fucking imbecile you look with that thing on your head talking to someone?
Yeah, but come on, Bluetooth headset, problem solved.
What do you mean Bluetooth? What is this, 1998, the Bluetooth headset? Who the fuck uses Bluetooth headsets?
People who drive around a lot.
What do you mean? It's not built into the car?
Actually, it is built into his car. No, but I've got a shitty 10-year-old car, so I would have to... Well, I actually just have headphones plugged into it.
Well, why can't
headphones
you
with a mic.
If the phone rings, just pick it up and put it to your head and start yapping. Blah, blah, blah. I'm on my way. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then get pulled over and fined.
You mean that shit's illegal, too?
Yeah, of course, man.
Oh,
this is Britain. What do you expect?
That's unbelievable. Anything that makes sense is illegal.
Well, I don't know. Driving with one hand isn't that good an idea.
Why?
Because most of the time I drive with one hand, right? But sometimes, like, a hairy situation will, someone will, like, swerve in front of me, and then I'll need both hands on the wheel to take full control of the vehicle. Very rarely, or I might go around a bend that's a bit sharper than I thought, and then I'll have two hands on the wheel. So I think that it's probably a good idea to have both hands free. But I don't know. Road safety is one area. Like, most people are terrible fucking drivers as it is. So if they've only got one hand to drive with, then that's not going to make the situation any better. And the likelihood of them crashing into me or a pedestrian is much higher. So I'm not, like, wholly against that law. I know you're, like, really hardcore libertarian, but I love accusing you of that.
I don't think I'm a libertarian or anything. I just hate fucking mental cases in suits telling me what I can and can't do.
Yeah. Well, anyway, before we get too far down that, iOS 7 then, you installed it. What's going on with that then?
Oh, yeah. So it came out today. It was officially released worldwide today, which is because we're recording on the 18th of September. And, I was just going to wait till it came out today and then install it. But I found, amazingly, because it was only available for developers for the last several months, different versions as they got closer and closer to the Goldmaster and finally released it. But I found out like a day or two from a tutorial on YouTube how to get hold of the Goldmaster of iOS 7 and install it. And it was ridiculously simple and easy. And me, like a big dope, I was clueless about this. I had no idea. Had I known sooner, I would have installed it sooner.
What's involved with it then, briefly?
So all you do is you can get it if you're a developer with Apple. So
You don't need to pay for that, though.
Well, that's what I always thought. I thought, to be a developer, you got to pony up some cash, but not so. So I just signed up to be a developer and downloaded it, and that was that.
Huh.
So I downloaded the file. You plug your phone in via USB. You open up iTunes. And there's a little button in iTunes that says check for updates for your phone. So what you do is, because if you just plug it in and click check for updates, it'll come back and say, sorry, you got the latest version, there's no updates. So what you do is you hold down the Option key on your keyboard while you click check for updates. And then a window will open up where you can then navigate to where the Goldmaster file is, whether you've placed it in a folder or a desktop or whatever. So I put it on my desktop. So then I just navigate to the desktop, click on the file, click OK, and then it just springs to life and installs.
That's pretty cool. So apart from looking a bit cartoonish and flat, what's different about iOS 7 then?
Well, this is the thing. It's basically the same operating system as iOS 6, but at the exact same time as being the same as iOS 6, it's also radically different. So, I mean, if you can kind of wrap your head around that, it's the same, but really different. Do you know what I mean? If that makes
Not
any
really.
sense.
That doesn't make any sense. How can it be the same and different?
Well, it is. That's all. That's the best way I can describe it. It's the same operating system, but radically different. It's smooth as shit, dude. And I mean, I'm running this on old hardware. I'm running this on an iPhone 4S, right, which is 2 years old now. And I mean, 2 years old in mobile phone technology is like it's the work. I'm running it on the work of the dinosaurs, compared to the stuff that's out now. And it runs ridiculously smooth. There is zero lag. I click on an app and it opens immediately. There's no click on it, wait 3 seconds, open. No. It opens instantly and incredibly smooth. Everything is smooth and fluid. They have some great new animations. The way the icons move on the screen when you open and close an application. They have a crazy background too. So they updated all the backgrounds in iOS, but it's the strangest thing because when you look at it, if you move the phone left or right ever so slightly, it gives it like a 3D effect. So the icons stay stationary, but the background moves as you move it. And it gives an amazing little, a 3D effect. It looks really very cool. I'm looking at it right now as I'm moving it around. It's kind of hypnotic, actually. But it's very, very nice. You are right. Everything has gone kind of cartoony, but in a very nice, polished way. They've updated the pull-down menu, so when you pull down from the top of the screen, you can get all your updates and reminders and emails, and you can do that from the locked screen too, which you couldn't do before. And it's a lot more detailed. It looks a lot nicer. It's got a nice see-through kind of glass vibe to it. Also, you can swipe down to get all your info, or swipe up to get your controls. So when you swipe up, it gives you complete control over airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, sleep, You can lock it from there. You got the screen brightness, volume, play, pause, stop for whatever music or video you're playing. It also gives you the AirPlay controls when you swipe up. So you swipe up and you have access to AirPlay, where you can broadcast whatever you're doing on your phone to your Apple TV and then onto your big screen TV. Also gives you quick access from swiping up to your camera app, calculator, and what's this one? I don't know what that is. Oh, timer.
You've just reminded me, going briefly back to the Nexus 7, on my Nexus 4, when I get an email, if it's just stuff that I don't care about, like Facebook notifications or whatever, I can delete it from my swipe down menu and then get rid of it. But I can't do that on the Nexus 7. So if anyone listening knows, is that an option that I need to enable or something? I can't be bothered to Google it because I'm just too lazy. But if you know how to make it so that I can delete emails from the drag down notifications, then do let me know on the Nexus 7, that is.
I'm trying. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can do that on iOS. So if I got an email, so I can swipe down and get my notification center, and it shows all my emails, and I can see the emails, and I can read like maybe the first 2 or 3 sentences of the email, and then when I click on it, it then takes me out of the swipe down and pulls it up in the email application, pulls up that exact email. And once I'm in the application, then I can go ahead and, reply to it, archive it, delete it, whatever the case may be.
Oh, because on my Nexus 4, you can either delete, archive, or reply directly. You can click reply, and then it goes straight into the reply for it. But on the Nexus 7, you've only got reply and archive, which is a bit strange because they're both running the same version.
OS, yeah. I wonder if that's only on maybe on the latest version of.
Well, no, it's still 4.3 with the same updates, and it's the same. It should in theory be the same.
Well, that's the thing. So right now I'm running the brand new latest iOS, right? iOS 7, but on an iPhone 4S. So, like, I guess 90% of the functionality is still here, but there's still some things on here that only a 5 or 5S can do that can't do on here.
Yeah.
So even though it's the same operating system, certain features will only work on the newer phone. So it might be the same with the Nexus device also.
Yeah, probably, because it's not the same image, because obviously all the drivers are different and whatever. So it's the same underlying operating system, but it's a different image that gets flashed onto the device. Yeah,
right. And that's what I noticed too when I went into the developer section to get the OS. There was an OS for 5S. There was a 5 for AT&T, a 5 for Verizon, and a 5 for Sprint. And there was a 4, a 4S, and then for the iPads there was different. So there's an iPad 2, iPad 4, iPad Mini, but all different instances for the OS. So depending on what device you were going to update, you'd have to download the specific one. Yeah. So I was, tweeting that I've got it installed and everything, and a buddy of mine in the UK was like, "Oh, I got to wait till tomorrow." And I said, "Well, let me just throw it up there for you into Dropbox, and you can install it." And then I uploaded it, and then I realized, oh wait, he's got an iPhone 5. I just uploaded the 4S version, so it's probably not going to work. So I messaged him and said, "Hey, don't install it. It might mess up your phone." And he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just going to wait till it comes out." I'm like, "Oh, okay, fair enough. All that work for fucking nothing." But
I would imagine that iTunes would just say, "No, this is not compatible," because there must be a signature in it that says what device it's for or whatever.
Yeah, you never know. It might be something like that in there. But overall, and I've only been playing with it for like a day or so, but I like it a lot. It's very, very fluid, and that's what I love about it. It's so smooth. And I keep thinking, it runs so well on this old phone. Imagine when it runs on like the 5S. It must be like unbelievable. Very nice. Yeah.
I saw a lot of articles this week about the 5C and the 5S. Now they've been out or been announced long enough for people to kind of absorb and digest the idea.
Yeah, there's been a lot of reviews now. People are actually getting their hands on it and reviewing it.
Yeah, but it seems that the consensus is that there's just, what's the point of the 5C? It just doesn't, like, why would you get that when the 5S is only a little bit more expensive and just much better?
Well, it depends what you. I mean, the 5C is obviously it's cheaper. The 5C is basically an iPhone 5 with a plastic multicolored back.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just get a 5?
Well, it's $100 more. You know,
fair enough.
So I mean, for some people, $100 that's make or break right there. I think the 5C is going to sell incredibly well, especially for kids. I think that parents getting their kids a cell phone because they all want iPhones, they'll probably end up getting a 5C. The reviews I've read of it though is that even though it is essentially an iPhone 5, I mean they updated the FaceTime camera and things like a few little minor updates, but essentially it's an iPhone 5. That they're saying that the way it looks and feels in your hand is in many ways superior to the look and feel of the 5 and the 5S. Even though it's a plastic back, it doesn't feel like plastic. It feels very solid, and the feel it has is that it feels like it's like enameled metal, but it's plastic. So it has a very solid, nice, good feeling. It feels very good in your hand, more so than the 5S. Surprisingly, but
yeah, I don't like the look of those cases with the holes in them, though.
no,
That's
me
just
neither.
stupid.
No. Yeah, I think that's fucking dumb as shit. I don't get that either. I don't like those cases. If I were going to get a 5C, I sure as hell wouldn't buy one of those fucking cases.
No way.
No.
S-line cases are the best, I find.
I like the case that I like the spec cases, the candy case, the spec candy case. I don't know if you can get those for Android, but there's a wide variety of different ones for the iPhone. And the spec is just like a really nice case. So I'll probably get one of those, like another spec case. Spec.
Yeah, they're quite expensive. Yeah, I'm looking at them now.
They're really well built, though. I mean, they're rock solid on the outside, but on the inside there's a very soft layer of plastic.
Yeah, it looks like a sort of foamy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So on the outside it's very tough and solid, but on the inside it's like a shock absorber. So when you drop your phone, it'll cushion it rather nicely.
Do you have that then for yours?
Yeah, I have a black candy shell spec for my iPhone 4S, which is getting a little long in the tooth, I guess.
I've got the same black S-line case for my Nexus 7 and my Nexus 4, so they look so similar. They just look like, I don't know, a daddy and child or something.
Well, that's the thing. The iPhone I have is like, it's compared to the new phones, even the new iPhone and all the Android phones. It's like a mini phone now. You know, it's like a baby phone. It's so tiny compared to these big screen phablet master, huge things compared to this little tiny rinky-dink phone.
Yeah, and it looks like my phone is just about to go out of date now because it's sold out. The Nexus 4 is now sold out in America and very nearly sold out in the UK. It probably is sold out by now.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that once they lowered the price of the Nexus 4, that's kind of like a red flag for get ready. There's a new one coming. They're going to update it in some way.
It is still in stock. Actually, in the UK, the 16 gig version for £200, and you have to add 10 quid for delivery, but 210 quid still a fucking good price for that phone.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no question. It's a great deal. I was looking online, and so I could for my MacBook Pro, my current gen MacBook Pro. If I sold that, or rather for the price that I paid for the MacBook Pro, I could get a Nexus 4, the 16 gig, the highest capacity.
Yeah.
I could get a Nexus 7, the highest capacity with LTE, and I could buy a 15.6 gaming PC laptop with 8 gigs of RAM and a terabyte hard drive with a 1080p screen, I could get all those 3 things for the price of my laptop.
What does that tell you about the price of your laptop, man?
It tells you that it's really fucking expensive.
It's overpriced, like so seriously overpriced. I mean, we always go into this, and I know you say it's the only bad thing, but
agree. I'm not going to argue. I agree. It's crazy prices. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, consider that is amazing that you could get a Nexus 4, a Nexus 7, and a sweet laptop.
Yeah, and not some the entry. I mean, I'm talking the top of the line.
What, with like 16 gigs of RAM and
the works. And the on the Nexus 7, it would be the full 32 gig with Wi-Fi and cellular, the full deal. So I get a phone, a tablet, and a kick-ass laptop.
Man, that's crazy. That really is crazy.
But it wouldn't be a Mac. Also, Apple updated iTunes for the release of, because I noticed that once I updated my phone to iOS 7, when I plugged it into my computer to update the apps, it was like, nope, can't update. You need a new version of iTunes. But new version of iTunes didn't come out till today, so I couldn't update it because all of the developers are like rapidly updating their apps to the look and feel of iOS 7. So I was getting tons of app updates that I couldn't install because I didn't have the correct version of iTunes.
What? See, hang on. So you're telling me that when you get app updates, you have to plug your phone into your computer?
Oh no! I can do it over the phone.
Over the network.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can do it over the network.
But you need iTunes to do it.
No. If I plug the phone into my computer, I cannot update it until I get the new version of iTunes through the computer.
Oh, but you can do it over the air.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's. I was going to say that would be pretty shit. Yeah. You think I would have heard about that? Okay.
No, you can do it either or.
So yeah, you're like, if your phone's in your hand now and then it pops up update, you just click update and then
it updates. Yeah. But if I'm sitting at my desk and I got iTunes open and the phone is charging, and I say, oh, I'll just click update.
Right.
Nope, you got to have the latest version of iTunes to do it. So I downloaded the latest version this morning. And it looks, physically, it looks exactly like the last version. There's been no updates in the look or feel of it. But it did add one more little tab to it. And that is radio. So now it has iTunes Radio. So you can create your own radio station based on whatever kind of music you like, and it'll play the tracks, whatever the full track or whatever you like. So it comes with a bunch of radio stations already pre-configured, and then you can create your own as need be. So it comes with I'll tell you the featured stations right here. So it's got the first one is iTunes Top 100 Alternative, and then it's Pure Pop. And then it's guest DJ Katy Perry. So I guess you have like a Katy Perry DJing her favorite tracks. Then there's another one called Pulse Pop. Then there's guest DJ Jared Leto from 30 Seconds to Mars, another one. iTunes Festival 2013, all the tracks from that. Then there's another one, Beatles Radio, where you can have a Beatles radio station because iTunes exclusively owns the Beatles music. The only way you can digitally get Beatles tracks is through iTunes, I think. You can't purchase them from any other vendor. Then there's If You Like Drake, whoever that fucking is.
And is this it just streams just the tracks? There's no arsehole going, next up on radio,
well, on
blah, blah, blah.
On the guest DJs, I'm assuming it. Well, let me play it. Let's see. I get Katy. Let's see.
Katy Perry being annoying.
Here we go. Listen.
Very own iTunes radio station. I'll be taking you through songs that I'm currently listening to, some songs that have inspired me, and of course, some songs of my own. To kick things off, I thought it'd be awesome to premiere a brand new song from my upcoming album, Prism. It's called Dark Horse, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Here it is, Dark Horse, exclusively on iTunes Radio.
Yeah, what?
What's her new album called? Prism.
Yes. What are the fucking odds, huh? Yeah. So I guess it's all self-promotion, right? So they're doing it. It's a cool promotional tool for them to get their music out there. So the guest DJs, yeah, they're going to be introducing tracks and yapping about nonsense, but all the other stuff is just going to be music, just like Spotify, I guess, music and music and music. But there's lots here. There's jazz. There's one called Chill Out Ambient. Retro FM. There's a Bruce Springsteen channel on here. There you go. Fab will love that. Listen to the boss playing his particular brand of bullshit. I fucking hate Bruce Springsteen. I'm sorry. And there's a ton of stuff here. There's pop gold, electronic, country hits. Yeehaw! So a bunch of radio stations, and you could create your own, mix and match, do what you got to do. Now, when it plays a track, like I just noticed right now, when it was playing that Katy Perry track over here. Katy Perry, Jessie J.
Let's rage.
Don't play too much of it. We'll get...
That's terrible, huh? Hate that shit.
Get people turning off.
But here's what it does, though. When it plays the track, and it lists, name of the track, the name of the album, and then right next to it, it's got $1.29, $1.29. So whatever track it plays, if while you're listening to it, if you dig it, if you like the music and you want to own it, right next to it, super easy, one click, and you can purchase it immediately from iTunes.
That's what it's all about, then, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, of course. I mean, why else would you do it if not to make money? They're not doing this out of, just because they're bored one afternoon, or just the goodness of their heart. They're doing this, it's a business. They're to make money. So iTunes Radio. Create your own radio station. There's also a little button here right on the bottom of iTunes where it says "Allow explicit," on or off. So you can flip a switch and have them say, motherfucker, instead of beep, ucker.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So there you go. iTunes Radio.
Have you ever used iTunes on Windows?
Yes.
It's a fucking disaster, man.
It's horrible. Horrible. It's so strange. I don't know why. It's got to be intentional. iTunes.
I think we talked about this, actually. Yeah, it's like...
iTunes and QuickTime on the Mac is amazing.
I think
Windows,
we agreed that it was to drive people to buy a Mac because it's just so shit on Windows.
It's horrible. Both QuickTime and iTunes on Windows is a fucking nightmare. It's absolute shit. Whereas on the Mac, on the Mac, iTunes and QuickTime are awesome. Like ridiculously good. But then you fire them up on Windows and it's like, what the fuck is this piece of shit? It's got to be intentional. Gotta be. But see, if it's intentional and they're doing it to make people move to the Mac, it's going to have the opposite effect because Windows users are going to fire up these pieces of software and be like, what the fuck is this? Oh my God. If this is what it's like to run a Mac, fuck that. So I don't know.
Maybe they just don't care.
Yeah, that's probably what it is too. They're like, whatever. Yeah, we'll just throw these Windows users a bone. Here. You want to use iTunes? Here. Yeah, you can use this. But it's shit. Well, whatever. Well, then don't use it. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. And I guess it's always been like that, It's garbage on the PC side of things, but pretty awesome on the Mac. I don't know why they do it. It's just it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Signal Home Box. What the fuck is that, dude?
Well, 3 Home Signal Box is what I've linked to. 3 is my mobile provider, my network, my carrier, as you would say.
For your cell phone, right? For your mobile.
Yeah. Now, for the last couple of years, I've been living in this place, this flat, that is where it's a basement flat, basically. And no one ever gets any signal. Any friends come over, and it's just dead zone.
Zero bars, right.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just accepted that, and I just put my phone on airplane mode when I get home and just use Wi-Fi, and I've got a landline. So if anyone wants to call me, they can call me on my landline.
Okay.
But annoyingly, I get loads of free minutes on my mobile, but no free minutes on my landline. So I have to like go up outside
to make a call. You got to leave the building and walk out into the street so you can get a signal.
Yeah. Which is really fucking annoying. But then I saw that O2, which is a different carrier, a different network, were advertising this thing called 2Go or something. And that is an app on your phone. You install it on iOS or Android, I think even BlackBerry, and Windows Phone. Haha. And it uses your Wi-Fi to make and receive calls and texts. So I was like, that sounds quite interesting.
Yeah.
And so I investigated that. Asked 3, my provider, do you offer anything like that? No, sorry, we don't. And so I thought, right, I'm going to go with O2, agreed the deal with them, phoned up 3 to cancel, and they said, well, hang on a minute, there is this thing that we do called the 3 home signal box, and if you qualify, we can give you one. And what it is this box, it's about the size of a router.
Yeah.
And you plug it into your router via Ethernet. And it uses your internet only rather than using an app, which is inevitably going to be a bit ropey. It just creates, it's just like having your own cell tower, as you would say, or as we would say, phone mast in your room, only much lower power than normal.
So let me get this straight. So it's like a little box you hook up via Ethernet.
Yeah.
That broadcasts a cellular signal locally in your house, so that your phone can then connect to, and then you make calls through the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it comes out of your minutes or whatever, as it would normally.
But do you have to pay for the box to get it installed and all that, or is it just a freebie?
Well, I was out of my contract, so I was just onto a 30-day rolling situation where I could cancel at 30 days' notice.
Yeah.
But they said to me, it was a real fuck about. I had to go through, I had to phone them up, and they said, right, yeah, you might be able to get this, or you should be able to get this box. We'll phone you back in 2 days, within 2 days. And so then they called me back after 2 days, actually, which was annoying. And they went through these questions with me, and I just answered the questions. They said, right, yeah, you are eligible for one.
Okay, Mr. Ressington, let me just ask you the first question. Question number 1. Do you have a phone?
What dream world do you live in where an English person is going to be speaking to me?
Mr. Ressington, let me ask you, do you have a phone?
Yeah. That's more like it.
Okay.
Nah, they were really nice, but they are clearly in India.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing is like when they say, hello, my name's Steve. I'm like, no, that's clearly not your name. The first thing you said to me is a lie.
Do they go, hello, my friend, my name is Steve. How are you doing today?
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like,
I'm here to help you
start with a lie. Just tell me, like, if whatever your name is, like, just tell me the real.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I would like to help you with your phone, please.
Yeah, and they always say, I'll definitely help you with that. No matter what you say to them, I'll definitely help you with that.
I will definitely help you. And then you hear papers shuffling as they look for the next part of the script.
Yeah. But anyway,
okay.
So they said to me, the bottom line is it's only available to contract customers, and you're not in contract, so you're going to have to sign up with a contract. But the thing is, I was getting 900 minutes and 2 gigabytes of internet and unlimited texts for, I think, $11.71 a month.
Okay. That's pretty good.
But they said to me, we don't offer that anymore. So either you've got to bump down to 600 minutes for about £9 something, or go to like 2,000 minutes and a completely unlimited internet, and where tethering is allowed.
Ooh.
And everything.
That sounds good.
For £15 a month.
That's great.
Yeah, but I only use about 700 or 800 megabytes a month.
I know, dude, but like it's unlimited. It's tethering.
Yeah, it's completely. They call it all
That's
you can
the
eat.
greatest.
And
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be concerned. See, on my iPhone, I have unlimited, and the only reason I hang on to I mean, same as you. I'm not using oodles amount of data, but it's peace of mind. I don't have to think about it. I use it when I want to use it, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah. Well, my brother's got it, and he was kind of away from home a lot for a while, and he was like really caning it, using loads of tethering and with this all-you-can-eat data, and he'd never had any problems at all. And they specifically said to me, you could use 50 or 60 gigabytes, and there's no fair use or anything.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah, well, it was my only choice was to go for that.
Yeah,
so
I would have fucking hooked that shit up in a heartbeat. That's great.
Yeah, so I got that for £15 a month, but I had to enter another 12-month agreement with them. But I also got this home signal box for free.
That's great. That sounds like a great deal.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But I was really negotiating, said to them, look, I want to pay £11.71. Just give me the free box and let me stay on what I was before. And they were just, no, sorry, it's already discounted, blah, 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 blah. So it's like another £3 or something.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ressington, but we cannot be doing that.
Yeah. And, yeah, so I've now got it, and it works all right, or it has been working all right, except that someone just tried to call me and said it went straight to answer phone and then phoned my landline. But due to the magic of the show, no one will ever know that happened.
That's cool, dude. So, and it's working. You probably got full bars now, right? Like your
yeah, completely full bars. And I tested the internet speed on it as well, and it was pretty slow compared to my Wi-Fi.
Right.
And it would be ridiculous to use my mobile data through that when I could just use Wi-Fi.
It's so crazy, right? Because I'm sorry,
the thing is, this box only works at my house and with my phone. You can register up to 27 phones that are on 3, and only 4 can use it at once. But I can't just take it anywhere and plug it into any old Wi-Fi.
That makes sense. Yeah, you just got to use it where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I would imagine that ISPs around the world, this isn't unique to 3. So if you in that same situation as
AT&T,
me,
AT&T does the same thing over here.
Yeah.
Because in the city, AT&T's service sucks pretty fucking bad. Like where I am right now, I got like maybe 1 bar. Oh, 2 bars now. 2 bars. So I'm connected to Wi-Fi all the time. And my wife and my daughter both have iPhone 5s, and I'm still stuck with the fucking shit 4S. but they're on LTE, right?
Yeah.
And my daughter is always pissed because I'm not drunk. I mean, upset because the LTE is so much faster than the Wi-Fi. But
really,
so much faster because and we only have around like a gigabyte of data a month. So I keep telling her, I'm like, look, when you're out and about, think about what you're doing. If you're on Instagram or texting or whatever, think about it. When you're at home in the house, you can go fucking crazy. You can be uploading whatever the fuck you want because you're on the Wi-Fi. But she keeps turning the Wi-Fi off because the LTE is so much faster.
That seems really weird to me.
No,
that LTE would be faster.
No, LTE is like ridiculous speed. It's faster than it's unbelievable. Unbelievable speed. It's off the fucking hook.
What? It's better than 50 megabits a second or whatever.
Oh, dude,
you're getting.
It's faster than my computer, than the Ethernet.
Really?
Oh yeah, night and day.
That's amazing.
So she'll turn the Wi-Fi off, and then I'm like, well, if you turn the Wi-Fi off, when that gig is gone, you're done. All right, so it's a little slower. So, it's like, and I this blew me away. She counts the days, dude. So she's like, I said, well, like we could be out somewhere. And I said, well, just take a picture and upload it. I can't. Why? Because my gig is gone. I won't get another gig till tomorrow. And I'm like, it's tomorrow? She said, yes, on the whatever day of the month it switches. I'm like, what the fuck? She, you know what I mean? She's all into like the schedule on when she gets her next gig.
That's quite mad.
It's crazy.
But But yeah, so if you've got shit signal in your house, then it's worth trying your carrier, your network provider.
Yeah,
especially if you're on 3 in the UK, then you can definitely get one. You've just got to answer the questions correctly. If they ask you questions like, does your phone ever have bars at home? And even if you do, you say, no, it definitely doesn't. Because I was in the middle of saying, well, if I hold it near the window, and I was like, no, actually, no. You don't get any.
Mr. There's question 4. Imagine you are out one night with your friends, and you have 3 drinks, and your phone is in the corner of the bar. Do they try to like trick you up and stuff?
No, they just ask simple questions like, does it work when you go outside? Yes. How long's this problem been going on? And if I just say, well, forever since I first got the phone. They ask you about what phone are you using, that sort of thing.
If it takes...
And like, do I have any friends or family that are on 3, and do their phones work there and stuff like that?
If it takes 2 hours by train to get to London, how long will it take? Oh man, crazy! But that's awesome, dude. That's cool. You got a cool. Now you have a full setup at home, and a great deal.
The thing is, like, I thought I'm probably going to end up using more minutes anyway. Now that I can actually make phone calls from my bed.
Right. Yeah, but the thing that I mean, for me, thinking about it, the sweet deal for me is the unlimited data.
Yeah,
that's the bomb right there. That's fucking awesome. Because now,
yeah, well, it means I can tether it and use my tablet.
You can tether. You're right. You can be out and about. You don't have to worry about like, oh, am I going to go over? Do I have it? Now you just use it whenever the fuck you want. It's the greatest.
Well, I haven't been bothered really about it before because I've got a 0 credit limit, which means that when I use my data, that's it. I'm not going to start getting charged for it.
Well, now you don't have to worry about that. You can switch it on and away you go.
I'll get unlimited 3 to 3 minutes as well. I've got a good friend of mine's on 3, so I can just talk to her whenever I want and never even worry about it.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's pretty good all around.
Very good. All right, how about a break?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Talk, an intimate discussion on all things strange. This is a show where more questions are raised than answers are given, and things sometimes really do go bump in the night. Hosted by Reeves Cook and Gareth Davies. You can listen to Parrot Talk at MindsetCentral.com.
You're listening to the Mindset Network.
You can now hear all of the Mindset Central podcast while on the go with the Stitcher Smart Radio app. On-demand news, talk, and more on your mobile phone. The latest episodes at Mindset Central are always available for you. No syncing needed and no memory or storage wasted. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android phones, and beyond. Downloading is easy. Go to Stitcher.com or check out your app store. Stitcher Smart Radio, the smarter way to listen to MindsetCentral.com.
And we're back. All right, Joe. So we're back from the break. We've talked about a bunch of stuff that's been going on in our lives as far as technology is concerned. But now I think it's time that we got into some tech news. What do you say?
Yeah, go on.
My Tech Podcast, here is the news. So Adobe has launched a Photoshop-Lightroom subscription for $9.99 a month. So you know that Adobe changed its pricing model a few months ago.
Damn right I did. It's fucking outrageous.
Really?
Carry on.
Well, you know, they used to just release the software and you'd purchase it, and that was that.
Yeah, you used to buy a copy of at least you'd buy a license to use that software forever.
Right.
Like I'm still using an ancient version of Photoshop that I own a license to use.
Right, because
whereas now it's this bullshit. You don't even own it at all.
So you pay, I think it's $50 a month, and you have access to everything. Right, so $50 a month, you get access to all the Adobe products and all
Creative Suite.
All right, the Creative Suite, the Adobe Creative Suite. You have access to Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator, whatever the fuck, blah blah blah, Adobe, whatever. You have access to the latest and greatest version of everything per month. So, but $50 a month is a little expensive, right? Now, if you're running some big fucking creative business, where you're editing movies, TV shows, or doing fucking big multimedia billboard ads and shit, then okay, I get it. You might have, a room full of fucking 100 Macs, and you want all the Adobe latest shit. You pay $50 a month, you're good to go. So in cases like that, I guess it makes sense. But for, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Average out there who want to learn Photoshop or fuck around with Lightroom, that's crazy expensive.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's this general move towards this licensing model. Like we talked about before, when you used to buy CDs, you would physically own the music that was on that CD. That would be yours. You would own that CD and you could copy it and do whatever you wanted with it. Whereas now, if you buy an MP3 from iTunes or Amazon or whatever, you are not buying anything physical. You're buying a license to use that on. In the case of iTunes. Well, I suppose they've relaxed the DRM now, but
there is no DRM.
Yeah, they've taken that off, but you don't own that music. You just own a license to use that music, to listen to that music.
Right.
And software has always been that way, but at least you could buy an installer disk or a download of an installer file, an exe or a .app on the Mac or whatever. Whereas now, you just own this subscription where if you stop paying, then you can't use the software anymore.
Well, see, that's what I'm not. I haven't really dug into that. But is that the case? Do you know that? Like, let's just say I signed up $50, right? And I get access to everything. So I download maybe Lightroom, Photoshop, Premiere. I throw them on my computer. I'm using it, and then at the end of the month, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm going to cancel. So the stuff on my computer suddenly becomes unusable, or do I hang on to that, but I can never update it?
I'm not sure. I think that if you block its ability to phone home via the hosts file, then you might be able to continue using it. I don't know if they've worked out a way of getting around that, because there's no fucking way I would pay for this kind of
crazy
software.
Expensive.
But yeah, you're definitely not going to get any updates, including security updates, which is a potential problem for some people.
So what you do for this deal they're offering right now for Lightroom is $10 a month, $9.99 a month, and you get Photoshop, Lightroom, and 20 gigs of storage space in the Adobe cloud.
Yeah, but you have to already have bought CS3 or later, so CS3, 4 or 5.
To get that deal.
Or 6 as well, maybe? Can't remember.
Now, see, if you're a professional photographer, right? I mean, if you make your living taking pictures, or if you're just like a hardcore enthusiast who it might not be your source of income, but you got a cool camera rig, and it's a passion, it's a hobby, and you love taking pictures. You're going to fall into one of two camps as far as image processing. You're either going to fall into Aperture, which is the professional photo deal from Apple, or you're going to fall into Lightroom, which is the professional photo deal from Adobe. You're going to fall into one of those camps. And there's a ton of people that they swear by Lightroom, and a ton of people that swear by Aperture, and never the twain shall meet, right? They both love whatever app they use to do all their professional photo stuff. Suddenly, because of this pricing model, from my perspective, Aperture suddenly becomes very, very attractive. Now, but here's the negative thing, though, is that, I mean, if you're running a Mac, you have access to Aperture, obviously, because it's an Apple product, and you have access to Lightroom. But if you're running a PC, you only have the only game in town is Lightroom. So you're essentially fucked.
Have you ever used Lightroom? Because it's something I'm aware of, but I've never used it. I've used Photoshop, but what's the difference?
No, I've never used Lightroom. I have used Aperture, though, and I'm assuming they're somewhat similar because they do similar things. And it's a way for you to catalog, adjust, and tweak all of your photographs. So you plug in the memory card of your SLR into your computer, you fire up Lightroom or Aperture, it then sucks all the photographs from the card into the application and presents them on like a big virtual board where you can manipulate the photographs, or organize them, file them away, back them up. You can pull up the picture, tweak the color, and do all the stuff you need to do to make that photograph pop. And then just kind of file it away and keep everything organized.
I'm pretty sure there's free alternatives to that in Linux.
Oh, I'm sure there are, but none of them is going to be as good as Lightroom.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with most Linux software. Nothing is spectacular. It's either adequate or shit.
Yeah, like GIMP is adequate. It's an adequate alternative to Photoshop.
Exactly.
It's not as good.
Right. So that's one of the biggest problems I have with Linux. I have zero issues with the Linux operating system. I think the operating system is awesome. But the applications that are available for it, they're either, it's okay, it does the job, or it's like, what the fuck is this? This is shit. You never install an app and go, oh my God, this is amazing. This is going to change my fucking life. That never happens on Linux.
Not GUI apps, but some server stuff is amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on.
And like file backup and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you're going to be some fucking egghead tapping away, knocking out that shit, then that's fine. But for regular, normal people, it ain't happening.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? And it's a shame. I wish that were different. I really do.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's about enough of that, I think. Fuck Adobe. Fuck them with their Flash and their
it's crazy.
Bullshit proprietary
$10
software.
A month. $10.
They should open source their software and have
this is going to turn a lot of people off it, though. In many ways, this will open the doors for other companies to be like, oh, wait a second. We can jump into this space if they can create a quality product to compete with it, because as a Mac user, you got Aperture. If you're hardcore Lightroom but you don't want to pay the $10, you can jump over to Aperture for, I think Aperture's like $80 or some shit, and that's it. But if you're a PC user, it's like this is like the only game in town, so it kind of opens the doors for competitors to jump in there and maybe fill the gap. All right,
well, let's talk a bit more about your beloved Apple then.
Okay. Let's do it.
So they, this is quite a confusing story. What it sounds to me like they are making older versions of apps available to people using older phones that don't have the latest version of iOS.
Right.
So say you want to use an app, Instagram, for example, but that's only available for iOS 6 and 7.
Right.
But you've got a 3GS running 5 or 4. Does the iPhone 5 only run? Sorry, iPhone 4 only run iOS 5.
So I've personally run into this issue.
Yeah.
So I have a Gen 1 iPad, right?
Right, yeah.
I have a Gen 1 iPad. And the highest OS you can put on the Generation 1 iPad is iOS 5.2.2. Right? You cannot go any higher than that. Now, admittedly, iOS 5 will run, 90% of all the apps out there. But there's a certain percentage of apps that will only run on iOS 6 and higher. And now that iOS 7's come out, you'll probably start to see that too. There'll be apps that'll come out and be like, must have iOS 7 or higher. And because I can't upgrade the iPad, I'm kind of stuck on certain levels of applications, which is fine as long as I don't update that app on my computer. Now, I ran into this a while ago. There's an application I use called Elements, which is a text-based application for writing notes and stuff, and it syncs with Dropbox. It's a beautiful application. It works tremendously well. And I had an older version of that on my iPad, and then I had the version on my Mac, which continually updates. So they released a new version of this application, which required iOS 6. So I downloaded it, and it's cool. I put it on my phone, whatever. But I can't put it on my iPad. Now, inadvertently, I deleted the version that I had on my iPad. Right? So it's gone from my iPad. Now, I still have it on my Mac, but I also updated that to the newest version. So I'm fucked.
Yeah.
I can't put it back on the iPad. So I wrote an email to the company that produced it, and I explained my situation to them. I'm like, look, dude, blah, blah, blah. Any chance you could give me a link where I can go and download the older version for the iPad? And they're like, no, sorry, Apple won't allow us.
But now Apple have allowed. If you go and try and install that app now, it'll give you the option to download an older version of it.
Exactly. So now they've kind of changed it now, and they've resurrected this so that old version of applications, provided, of course, the developers still have old versions and can supply them to Apple, you can.
Well, no, apparently not. Apparently they haven't even spoken to the developers, and obviously Apple has an archive of the older versions, and they'll just push out an older version that the developer isn't necessarily
going to be
wanting to be out there anymore.
Well,
it could have security holes in it or bugs or anything.
Right. So I mean, it's obviously in the best interest of the customer and the developer and Apple to download and install the latest version, because it's going to be, the most bug-free and the better version of the app. But it's not always possible if you're still running older hardware with an older OS. So from my perspective, with my old iPad, this is great news. So now I can go and get that app back on there and use it.
Mm. Yeah, but at what cost? This to me is a very interesting development, because that's a much more Android-like way of dealing with things, I think, that you're going to end up with buggy apps that don't work properly, and it's going to tarnish this idea that Apple stuff just works.
No,
works flawlessly.
Not at all, because what it's going to do is it's going to spur people to upgrade. Because if you do have old hardware and it's old, and you are running old software that's old and might be buggy, all that's doing is making that seed that's been in the back of your mind for a long time spring roots and grow further and make you think, enough with this old fucking iPad. I need to get a new one.
Maybe, but I still think that I don't think that Steve Jobs would have allowed this, basically. I think that this is Apple starting to slip. People are talking about this, the latest announcement of the 5C and the 5S and iOS 7, and how there's nothing particularly innovative about it. It's just an incremental update. There's nothing spectacular about it. And it's people are talking about Apple having peaked. Now, I know that you're a fanboy and you're going to disagree, but I agree with them that Apple have kind of peaked, for want of a better word. And little things like this, allowing buggy apps to run on their
older hardware.
Yeah, But yeah, even so, before they just said no. Well, that's the reason why you can't run the later versions of the operating system on the older hardware, because it's not going to run 100% perfectly.
Right.
Are you telling me that your iPad couldn't run iOS 7?
Oh, it probably could, but it would run like
But it
shit.
wouldn't. It'd be like a shitty Android tablet that's a little bit buggy
horrible,
and
yeah.
laggy,
Yeah.
and they want to avoid that. Whereas what we're talking about here is these older apps that might have bugs in them might start to crash and cause the iPad to crash, and and could have security holes. It's not an Apple-like thing to do. An Apple-like thing to do is to say, "Fuck you, it's old, it's not happening."
Yeah.
And it just seems to me that it's like a chink in the armor of Apple to allow this to happen. And I think that it's indicative of Apple starting to slip. I'm not saying that they have slipped or whatever. They are still a massively profitable company.
See, what I find interesting about what you're saying, and I don't necessarily disagree with you, but what I find interesting is that Apple has kind of painted itself in a corner, right, in a way that they've done so many spectacular, earth-shaking things in the past 10 years that they've painted themselves in a corner where every Apple event, everyone is constantly thinking, "Oh, what are they going to do now? What's coming next? It's going to be the greatest." And when that doesn't happen, they're like, "Oh, that's it. They're done. Game over." No other company is held to those standards. Microsoft releases the latest, greatest. Everyone's fucking yawning. Who gives a fuck? You know? Google comes out with the Nexus, whatever. Oh, all right. There you go. It's a tablet. Whoopie fucking do. Next. Apple comes out with something. Well, where's the latest and greatest? Why isn't this changing the fucking world?
Well, people were somewhat expecting the watch, and that hasn't materialized.
Right,
for whatever reason.
Where are people getting these ideas? Apple has said shit. They haven't said a fucking single fucking syllable about a watch. They haven't said, "Oh, sometime in the future we're working on a watch." They haven't said nothing. This is all rampant speculation from people fucking with their heads in the clouds.
Well, yeah, because the Apple way is to only announce something when it's ready, or when it's a few weeks off being ready. Right. Rather than like Ubuntu saying, here's Ubuntu phone, and it's going to be on phones and TVs and on everything. And then it's, well, where are the phones and TVs? You can't buy them, so shut up.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that Apple isn't going to release a watch. You know, who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But they haven't said shit. It's all, pie in the sky speculation. Now, that speculation might be very accurate or not. But it's still, this floating around nonsense. It's like they've painted themselves into a corner where everything, every word that comes out of their mouth has to be pure gold. They can't say, "Okay, we're just updating." What, updating? What the? No, it has to be completely redesigned. It has to change the world every time. Come on, please. What other company's doing that? Nobody.
Well, speaking of other companies, let's move on to the opposite. And Microsoft admits that Windows 8.1 is a must-have update.
Oh, God. So why is this a must-have update?
I read the article, and I don't know.
Why is it must-have?
Well, one interesting thing about this article is that it says, in fact, Microsoft claims that Windows 8.1 is just another proof that the company is listening to consumer feedback, hence the return of the start button and the introduction of an option to boot directly to desktop and skip the start screen. Now, I couldn't find that in that preview, so they must have put that option in.
Added that in there. But then again, when you hit the start button, you don't get the little start menu. Doesn't it take you right back to the tiles and shit?
Yeah.
And what the fuck is up with that?
Don't ask me.
I would say to anyone who's running a PC, if you're running Windows 7, you don't stay where you are. You don't have to do nothing. You're good.
Nah, you're all right. I wouldn't say good.
You don't have to be running out. Oh, I gotta get Windows 8. Fuck that. It's a waste of time and money. Either stick with Windows 7 or format the disk and put Linux on it, or throw the PC in the garbage and buy a Mac. Don't jump on this Windows 8 bullshit retard fest.
But it's going to be a free update if you've already got Windows 8.
Yippee!
Or
Yay!
$120
Oh, God.
or $200 for the Pro version. I just don't get the differences.
What a fucking gouge. What a rip. It's like you got to pay. Is it $129 for this is an upgrade, mind you. I mean, if you're going to get
120, $119.
This is for an upgrade. If you want the full version, you're going to be talking $300-400. Or you
no, it's not. It's the upgrade. This is a standalone disc or download that you can buy and install on any hardware.
Oh, okay.
It's
all right. So
120
so
or $200 for the Pro version.
Because it used to be, you pay $150 for the upgrade, or like $500 for the full version. It's a complete gouge.
Yeah, I don't know why they have the different versions, the standard version.
Yeah, what was that? We got home, professional, ultimate,
premium, home premium, professional, premium, home.
Who are these mental cases? Can you believe the meetings? Oh, what should we call it? Should we have... Well, what if we do this? We'll split it into several versions. We'll have a home version, which will be a stripped-down version for home use. But then they'll have... But this one will be the ultimate. This is the one that everyone's going to want, but they're going to have to pay a premium. Oh! You're a fucking genius. Genius. Give that guy a raise. It's unbelievable. These people should be fucking fired immediately. Immediately! Fire them!
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's a bit of Microsoft news. That's just a bit whatever. They admitting that Windows 8 is shit and that Windows 8's slightly less. Windows 8.1 is slightly less shit, but I doubt it. From what I've seen of it, looks to be the same.
You know what I love though is the Windows users. They run Windows 8 and they're like, I don't know what all the fuss is about. I like it. It's great. I can't believe these people are complaining. And look at Vista. Vista wasn't that bad. Have you heard people who talk like that?
Well, it really reminds me of people who were hardcore long-term Ubuntu users, and then Unity came out, and they're still like, for example, the Ubuntu used to be the Ubuntu UK podcast. Now it's just called the Ubuntu podcast. And I met them at OggCamp last year, and they're pretty cool people, whatever. But they dress it up like Unity isn't shit. And they go on, like pretty much what you just said there about Windows 8. Like, I don't know what the fuss is about. I really like it. When really, they must have forced themselves to get used to it because it's so monumentally shit.
Do you think Ubuntu sometime in the future will like abandon it and go back to like a regular, like a GNOME desktop or something?
No, I think it'll just die before that.
Yeah.
I think that it'll just get to the point where Mark Shuttleworth runs out of money to plow into it. Although he did.
Shuttleworth. Where's he from, dude? What's up with that fucking accent of his? What's his deal?
He's from South Africa. I don't feel like doing accents today, but he's from South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
But it's not a hardcore South African accent though. It sounds like he's not talking a little bit like, he's more like, I don't know, it's a weird kind of...
Yeah, well, the South African accent varies quite a lot from the north, where it's really hardcore, to the south, where it's less so. And he must be, I can only surmise that he must be from the south. Plus, he's lived in the UK for quite a number of years now, so his accent's mellowed a little bit.
Right.
He's not like one of the hardcore
very
northern
annoying,
guys.
Dude. The guy is very annoying.
He is.
When you see him doing his Apple-esque I want to be Steve Jobs videos, you just want to kick him in the balls. He's so fucking annoying.
He's not as annoying as Steve Jobs used to be.
Shut up, dude. He wasn't annoying. He was the greatest. How dare you?
Don't speak ill of the Messiah.
How dare you speak ill of the dead?
Stallman did. As soon as he died, Stallman was like, "Good, I'm glad he's dead. Fuck him."
No, he was like, no, he didn't say that. He said, "I'm not glad he's dead, but I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't being callous. I mean, he was sorry that the guy had died and everything and, all that stuff. But he was glad that he wasn't around to, fuck with operating systems and stuff. So how do you say GNU Linux?
GNU/Linux.
I gotta get a soundbite of you doing that, dude. That's the greatest. GNU/Linux. Linux.
Anyway, right. So moving on then. This is a bit more serious, this one. UK Prime Minister appoints new anti-piracy enforcement advisor.
That can't be true, dude. I mean, the UK is a very liberal, forward-thinking democracy. They would never.
Yeah, we have freedom of speech in our constitution.
Yeah, they would never do anything like that. They would never do anything draconian like this. I mean, it's a forward-thinking, freedom-loving democracy, isn't it?
No, it's not. So this dude is Conservative MP Mike Weatherly, a former record label worker and vice president of the motion picture licensing company.
What a fucking shocker.
Yep. This dude, this article that we'll link to from Torrent Freak pretty much says that this is all about the the Digital Economy Act, which it calls the DEA, which is very confusing.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking about.
Is he going to have Is he going to have a windbreaker on now with DEA on his back in yellow letters?
Maybe, and a hat and a mug and all that. But yeah, it's pretty much saying, this article, that this appointment of this dude, who's like the anti-piracy czar or whatever you want to call him, is to push through and to crack down on piracy and make the Digital Economy Act more relevant, to use that to crack down on people. And that was not forgetting that a few years ago, just as the Labour government were being kicked out, on the last day of term, as it were, the last day of the semester, as you would say in America, they pushed through this Digital Economy Act, and it means that there's the kind of, I think it gives the government the right to disconnect people from the internet when there's only the allegation of piracy or copyright infringement. No trial, no nothing, just disconnected. And plus, it could be a kid doing it, and the whole family then gets disconnected from the internet.
That's cool, dude. I think that's a great law, dude. I think it's wonderful. I can't wait until certain sections of the Houses of Parliament just immediately get kicked off the internet for visiting porn sites and torrenting stuff. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, they're going to be immune, right? It's not going to affect them. This is only for regular people.
That was funny when that came out, wasn't it? That they not only had been looking at porn, they'd also been torrenting music,
downloading, stealing music. But it's not gonna, Oh yeah, we'll cut the internet off. We'll stop the internet on Mr. and Mrs. fucking Joe Blow Average out in the middle of fucking nowhere. We'll cut their internet off in a heartbeat. But the right honorable conservative MP, whatever the fuck, looking at porn and downloading the latest Lady fucking Gaga album, he's good to go. We're not going to fuck with his right. He can surf the net all he wants.
Have you ever noticed on Torrent Freak that the links are either grey, and then when you mouse over them, they fade into pink, and then when you take the mouse away, they fade back to grey, or the opposite?
I just noticed that right now. That looks pretty cool.
It's so cool. It's been like that for ages, but it's just cool. I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
That is pretty cool. I'd never noticed that before.
It's just some CSS thing, but
so this is like. Have you noticed that this will give the government the right to cut people off the internet? Why does the government have all these rights? What's up with that? Why can't people have rights? Why can't the people say, you know what, government, I'm cutting you off the fucking internet? How you like them apples, you fuck? How does that work? How come they get all the rights and the people don't?
Because they're in charge, man. They're better than us. Simple.
It's unbelievable. Everything's fucking ass backwards. Everything's upside down, topsy fucking turvy.
It is.
Look at the picture. Look at this picture. This fucking imbecile with his big dopey grin on his face. Yes. I'm going to stop people downloading records. Oh, fucking mental case. You know what they always say? Like, what is it? The cream. Well, you see, the cream always floats to the top. And what that guy Jarvis, whatever his name is, from? He said, "No, shit floats." How's that?
Yeah, I was going to say diarrhea floats to the top.
Shit floats. It's not cream. Shit floats. If you're a piece of shit, thieving piece of garbage, you'll do well. You'll get to the top. If you're an honest hard worker, get ready to be fucking stamped on.
But if you look at the comments on this article, I just read the top comment by Steve Smith, and he sums it up perfectly, I think. How about you appoint someone that will look at the problem for real and come up with real solutions, not another idiot who thinks more laws will fix the problem.
Perfect.
Things like, if you want to stop piracy with music and movies and stuff, then things like Spotify and Netflix are obviously how you're going to do it, not with bullshit laws.
Yeah,
if Netflix was £2 a month, or something that combined Netflix with TV shows as well as movies as well as all music, and you could have it on any device, and it was £10 a month or £5 a month.
Yeah.
Then
the piracy
what would be the point?
Piracy would end overnight.
Or it would certainly dramatically decrease. If it was all good quality stuff, good quality rips and everything,
well, that's
then
the thing.
obviously everyone would be into it, wouldn't they?
It's really simple how to stop piracy. You make everything available in high quality at a reasonable price. Boom.
Yeah.
Piracy's over instantly.
Yeah, and none of this bullshit movies being in the cinema and then it taking 6 months for it to come out on digital download or whatever. Put it all out at the same time, and if you want to go to the cinema and watch it on a huge 100-foot screen,
right?
Then fair enough, and they have to make that. They have to have a decent price for that and a decent experience.
The thing is, though, Joe, is that benefits consumers. It doesn't benefit the fucks that are making the money. Like for you and I, this is great. You know, if this came out tomorrow, I'd be like, "Here's my credit card. Where do I sign up?" Right? But for the people that are like gouging the fuck out of the populace and making money hand over fist, oh no, we can't have that. I can't make $1 billion profit. I want to make $10 billion profit.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Sheesh.
Ridiculous.
All right, what else we got?
The next one, I'm not saying it's funny, but make of this what you will. No, it's hilarious because of my sick sense of humour. London man stabbed and robbed of his copy of GTA 5.
This is unbelievable.
So, yeah, this dude went, because the GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5, which we haven't talked about, but everyone else seems to be talking about. We don't play games, do we? So we're not really interested.
I could care less about it. It's a huge game, right? I mean, I know people have pre-ordered this and had it on back order and like counting the days to get their grubby little paws on this dopey game. But for me, it's like, you know, it's crickets. Like I could give a rat's ass about this game, but
I mean, it looks all right if you're into that sort of thing. And I played it years ago, the older versions, and it looks pretty good with the massively multiplayer mode and whatever. But the headline for me is that it cost them $265 million to make the game.
Right.
Which is big Hollywood money.
Oh, yeah, the games industry is it's eclipsed the movie industry.
Yeah, I didn't realize you could spend that on a game, but obviously they can to make it that amazing.
Yeah, they spend a lot, but they're going to make billions of this. They're going to.
Yeah, well, they expecting to generate $1 billion apparently, £1 billion pounds, because it cost 170 million pounds
to make,
and they're hoping to make $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And also, what's interesting, I didn't realize that it's made in Scotland.
Really?
Yeah, like Iron Brew. That's pretty much the only thing Scotland makes now: Iron Brew and GTA.
Wow, that's crazy.
Rockstar's a big international company.
So what happened with this? So let's see. A 23-year-old man was stabbed and robbed as he walked home from an Asda superstore in northwest London in the early hours of the morning. He'd been out shopping for the latest title in the Grand Theft Auto video game series, and he was robbed of his purchase by the attackers. So do you think they were zoning in on the video game, or they just were after his bag of potatoes and his loaf of bread, and he had that with him?
They probably nicked his phone as well. I don't know, man. Maybe they were out to just nick his game. I think that the media has run with this because it's quite ironic that it's a game where you just rob and stab people and run them over and stuff. But I think that he was out late at night in a dodgy area, and he just got robbed. They probably took his wallet, his phone, and whatever else he had on him that happened to be this game. Yeah, so
I don't think they were zeroing in on the game. They were just out to rob him, to mug him and steal his money, and he had that on him, and they took that too. And then the cop is probably like,
well, sir, could you describe the items that you had with you?
Well, I had 20 Benson and Hedges, half a bottle of vodka, a case of cider, and Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto? Ooh.
Yeah, and away it went.
But the last bit of this article is pretty funny. It said it talks about how the reviews have been pretty good for it. Well, very good for it. But it says, but there have also been criticism aimed at the game's lack of female protagonist and its inclusion of scenes of torture. In these, the player has to pull out a victim's teeth and break their kneecaps. What the fuck are kids playing these days? God. It's not. I suppose it's not kids really. It's adults.
This isn't kids. This is
adults without a girlfriend.
Right. This is the people who are playing this game are either full-grown men, right? People in their 30s and 40s, or people in their teenage years who are clueless retard fucks.
Either way, they're not getting laid.
Yeah. Right.
We've just alienated a massive chunk of our audience.
It's like, hey, honey, come to bed.
No, let me just finish this level.
Yeah, this mission.
Yeah,
the trailer does look pretty good. And if I was single, then maybe I might have a PlayStation and whatever.
Oh yeah, dude. If I remember, I worked with this guy, and he was in his late 30s, early 40s, but he was single. He lived alone in an apartment. And I always remember, like, on a Friday night, I was like, hey, so what you got going on this weekend, man? What you getting up to? He said, oh, dude, weekend is my day. He said, so here's what I do. He said, I get up, I have a bottle of vodka, big fucking bottle of vodka, and I'll play Warcraft all day and all night and drink the vodka. And he's in his own apartment, right? He's like sitting in his own shit and filth, right? With a stinking, sweaty, greasy fucking PlayStation 3 controller in his hand or some shit, or over some keyboard, guzzling down vodka in his fucking sweatpants and his t-shirt. And I was like, dude, why don't you just fucking kill yourself? Just end it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like a dude I know. I used to hang out with him and play computer games with him and stuff. Like, we used to play a game called Siphon Filter, which was quite cool. And now, 10 years later, he's still into computer games, and he's got the Xbox 360 with Xbox Live.
The works, yeah.
And he goes on missions. What's the it's not Counter-Strike, is it? It's
I don't know.
It's some military game where you run
Rainbow Six or some shit.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now, but he plays that all the time, and like he's got all his friends on there who are like all teenagers, and it's pretty sad, man. But whatever floats your boat at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, yeah, if that's your deal, if that keeps you happy, then go for it. I mean, it's just.
But I can't help but think that GTA is corrupting our youth, man.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. We should have these. See, we should ban them. We should get these things banned.
I think it should definitely be banned. There's no doubt that a game that violent where you have to pull people's teeth out and kneecap them.
In fact, more things should be banned. Everything should be banned. We should be banning every. Oh, wait a second. You guys do doesn't in the UK every 3 seconds the government's banning some shit. It's unbelievable.
Although things have got less so with that.
Oh, we're going to ban
Because when I was a kid, for example, we always had Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because they couldn't be called ninjas because that was banned.
Yes. I remember that, yeah.
Whereas now, they're just called Ninja Turtles. Like my pillowcase still says Hero Turtles because I'm cool.
That's a collector's item. Because it used to be like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah.
in the cartoon, wasn't it? It was
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Yeah, all changed.
But now they've relaxed that, so standards have slipped, the youth is corrupted, and the world's gone to shit.
What's his name? Shredder? He'd be like, Leonardo, I will train you how to be a hero, and then we will be able to fight.
And they cut loads of the violent scenes with the nunchucks and stuff. Apparently.
So retarded, dude. So fucking stupid. You know, I noticed that too. A little off topic, but years ago, I was over in the UK, and I was hanging out at my brother's pad, and we were drinking some beers, and he said, "Hey, let's put a film on." I was going to say, he said, "Let's watch a movie," but he wouldn't say, "Let's watch a movie." He said, "Let's put a film on." So he pulled out his DVDs, and he had The Matrix on DVD. I was like, "Oh yeah, let's watch The Matrix. I love The Matrix." So he put The Matrix. We're watching The Matrix, and we're watching The Matrix, and I was like, "This is fucking cut. This is edited." He's like, no, this isn't a copy. This is legit. It's not a copy. This is like the real. And look at the box. It's like a legit. You know, you went bought the real thing. But it was cut. There were certain scenes when they were fighting, where like they'd be headbutting each other, and that was cut from the movie. I couldn't believe it.
That's weird. What's weird is that in this country, in the UK, we're more upset about violence, and that's more likely to get cut from movies, whereas swearing we don't give a fuck about. Whereas it's the opposite in America. You can have the most bloody, brutal violence, but then someone says fuck or shit and it has to be beeped out.
Yeah.
Weird.
All right, should we do some feedback?
Yeah, go on.
Well, this week we got a bunch of feedback, huh?
Yeah.
Where do we start?
Well, we'll start with a bit of errata, a bit of a correction.
Okay.
From Devolvify on Twitter.
Yeah.
He had a brief conversation with you, by the looks of things, on Twitter, and then he sent you an email with his full explanation.
What he did was the first tweet was like, I should have pulled these up. I don't have it in front of me. This first tweet he sent was a little bit like, you guys were way off on the encryption you talked about. And I was like, oh, okay. So I tweeted him back saying like, well, what, could you be a little more specific? And then there was a few more tweets. And then eventually he sent me this big tweet that we have in front of us right now. Should I go ahead and read it? I'll go ahead and read it.
Yeah, go and read it out.
He said, at Mindset, which is my Twitter handle, he said, sorry if I seemed a little terse earlier. 140 characters is just not enough. This should be better. And he wrote, GPG offers both symmetric and asymmetric crypto suites. In fact, a frequent use case is having it encrypt a message file using symmetric key and then encrypting that symmetric key using an asymmetric public key algorithm. The resulting combination of asymmetrically encrypted symmetric key and symmetric key encrypted of the message being sent to another party. There you go. Makes perfect sense, huh? He said the main reason folks tend to use this is twofold. Firstly, they've never met someone before. Public key crypto is a simple way to get around the problem of key exchange. Symmetric crypto requires both parties know in advance the key to be used. Thus, we can use asymmetric crypto to send an encrypted version of that shared key. Secondly, whilst symmetric crypto is fast, stream ciphers very so, popular block ciphers like AES to a lesser extent, public key algorithms are slow. That's why many applications use and popular use case for GPG do most of the work symmetrically. and just use asymmetric methods for encrypting the key use. So he says, crypto is fascinating stuff, but some experts tend to fetishize the complexity. He then provides a link to give me some more information. He says, speaking of crypto experts, Jürgen Schneider, or Schneerer, described as a journalist, gave me a laugh because I described him as a journalist when I read his article in The Guardian. Silly me for thinking that someone who writes an article for a newspaper might be a journalist. But hey, what do I know?
To be fair, a lot of The Guardian stuff, it comes from loads of people. Like Russell Brand writes for them.
Yeah.
And he's not a journalist, he's a comedian. So.
Right. Let's see. And then he goes on some more. And then he says, I would... because it sounds like he's scolding us, but he wasn't really. He says, it would be remiss of me not to add that I enjoyed the show. The differences in you and Joe's personalities work well on a podcast, so thanks for making it. So he did enjoy the show. He just wanted us to be more accurate in our description of the way we described the encryption from that article.
You know what I was thinking reading this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit moonspeak to me, what he says. I do understand it, but it's a little bit beyond my...
Right.
But what I was thinking is, why, if you want to... I can't remember, he did tell us his real name at one stage. But if you want to, why don't you come on the show and talk about it with us? You seem to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you're listening, direct message me on Twitter, and we'll set up a time and date, and it would be awesome to have you on, and we could really get into this and discuss this in depth. Absolutely.
And we can try and squeeze out an English translation of what you said.
Yes, that would be superb. But final thought, he said, final thought, I know that despite your devotion to a fruity company, and you do try different Linux distributions, I can't remember hearing you talk about Elementary OS. If you haven't given it a whirl yet, I'd really suggest that you do. As an Apple user, you ought to feel right at home. It looks gorgeous and mostly just works. Unlike almost all other distros, it offers virtually no customization out of the box. On the, in this case, reasonable basis that it's great the way it is. However, some tweaks can be found in the links below, and then he put a couple of links for Elementary OS. And I did look at that, and it does really look like a very, very elegant OS.
Yeah, everyone seems to be talking about it. I did download it with the intention of checking it out, but I haven't yet got round to it. But it does seem like an interesting...
Yeah, it looks really
distro.
nice. It looks very, very well put together. So we should check that out, maybe do a review on a future show. What else do we get?
So you got a bit message then. Hello, Gareth and Joe. I've often heard it said in regard to internet privacy, I'm not doing anything wrong, I have nothing to hide. Ultimately, who decides whether you're doing anything wrong or not? Ultimately, who decides whether you're doing anything wrong or not, and whose point of view holds the most weight in the case of a dispute? I wouldn't doubt that true privacy on the internet vanished a very long time ago. However, that doesn't mean I should simply drop my DAX and bend over. Top show this week, not my words. I just hope that you two never start agreeing on everything. Well, I don't think there's much danger of that, especially when it comes to Apple and stuff.
Yeah, I think listeners like that we're on, I guess, different sides of the fence. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of stuff that we do agree on, but
Well, the one thing that seems to sort of cement this is our hatred of Microsoft and Windows.
Right, yeah. I heard you when I was listening to you on the Mintcast a couple of weeks ago. You were talking about that. You said, I'm a Linux user, but I do a show with a Mac user. And then you said, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was pretty cool, So, I mean, there's an awful lot of stuff that we do agree with, and you could probably tell that from listening to the show. But, we're not on the same page on a lot of stuff. And I think it's good to talk about those things, And sometimes Joe is absolutely right, and sometimes I am. But it's cool to kind of discuss stuff.
No, I'm always right. But that was from Warren anyway, so thanks for that, Warren. I'm always right and you're always wrong, unless you agree with me.
There you
go. Christopher Moreland... this is from web comments. This is from the show page on MindsetCentral.com. He said, I had a parcel sent from Canada and it took 2 months to get here, so you never know.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you never know, dude. It might, when you're least expecting it, it might just show up at your door. But
and then suddenly I'll have two. I'll be like, oh wow,
Yeah.
got two
tablets.
Nexus 7s now.
But
two Nexi.
It seems like way too long, though. It's probably something has happened, but you never know. You never know.
It could be held up in customs, possibly. That's my only the only hope that I'm grasping onto is that it's just been delayed at customs. And
you know what? Speaking of
it's
customs,
in a big pile.
So I mean, I think we touched on this in an early episode where I bought an old BBC Micro from eBay.
Oh yeah.
And had it shipped over to the U.S. from the U.K., an old Acorn BBC microcomputer. And it got here relatively quick. I think I got it in maybe 2 weeks. But when I got it, the box had been opened, and there was a sticker on the box says, inspected by U.S. Customs. So they'd opened the fucking thing and took a look inside there.
Yeah, that's what I'm... If it ever turns up, that will be the explanation.
What is up
but
with
it
that
hasn't
shit,
been nicked. And,
Who the fuck are they to look at my shit? Why are they looking at my stuff?
Because they can. Because they're better than you.
That's crazy.
They're more important than
Isn't
you.
that crazy?
And you're just annoyed.
Oh, look, this is a big box. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Just because we're bored. It's a slow day. But anyway, yeah, there was a sticker on it. They opened it up. So what else we got? OMG, it's Windows. Nice show, as always. I'm thinking Gareth is sponsored by Apple. Who knew in 1984 that Steve Jobs would be Big Brother and zombies would be paying customers?
And then it links to a few articles about various things, various Apple-hating articles, which are quite funny.
Well, this dude, what's his name? Christopher? Did he write that? I don't know. Is that the same guy?
No. It's a completely different person. No, it's someone calling himself OMG, it's Windows.
Oh.
It's and Windows, both ending with a Z.
God,
Z.
OMG. Well, this guy's obviously mentally ill. I would say, OMG, it's Windows. Please seek mental help immediately before you harm yourself or others.
No, I agree with him. The first one is about the biometrics scanning thing and how I was a little bit drunk last week. My name's Joe and I'm somewhat of an alcoholic. But when we touched on this fingerprint scanning thing, and it's quite a stink about it. And I'm not 100% certain that they're not gathering your fingerprints. But let's not get into that again. But okay. I don't think that this OMG, it's Windows fella is mental.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think he's crazy either. I was just joking.
No, you were just joshing. But,
I mean, I don't agree with him, but I don't think he's crazy. And then finally, we had Warren also posted on the site saying, enjoyed this week's show. I think OwnCloud has its pros and cons. It does take a bit of effort to get set up for sure, but offers some good services as a reward. I mainly use it for file and contact syncs and run it through a VPN. Helps running it through a VPN helps a bloke feel a little less nervous about ports being exposed to the net. Horses for courses, I suppose.
Yeah, and one final one from Google Plus. Rob McKenzie said, "Great show. Looking into a Pogo plug." And he linked to a video of the Nestle CEO. Obviously, we're talking about KitKat, the Android thing.
KitKat, yeah.
How Nestle are evil, and it's quite funny. This dude, it's in German. It's Swiss German, so it's weird even to someone who speaks German. But if you read the subtitles, it's him talking about how great Nestle are. And some of the shit he comes out with is unbelievable, man. You just have to watch it. Should try and remember to put a link to it in the show notes.
Do you think that even though he's speaking German, that the subtitles are like made up to make him sound like he's a mental case? Or do you think...
Well, like those Hitler videos.
Yeah, or do you think it's like a legitimate translation?
No, it is legitimate translation because my girlfriend's German and she told me that it is.
So it is what he's saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, if you've got any comments for us or feedback, then you can get us on mindsetcentral@gmail.com. or on the Google Plus or Facebook groups, or you can comment directly on the show page on mindsetcentral.com.
And BitMessage, don't forget.
BitMessage, of course, yeah.
That address is on there, and I check that almost every day. Not religiously, but every day or so I'll log in to check to see if there are any messages. All right then, Joe. Thank you once again. Some great topics, great conversation, great news as always. Thank you. Thank everyone for listening. We really appreciate it. Keep tuning in. Tell your friends. The Mind Tech Podcast. We'll be back next week with more stories and news and conversation. But until then, farewell, good brothers.
See you later.